Good morning, children. Welcome to my today's class. So we have completed 10 lessons of prose and 10 poems. Let us start with the non-detail. Lesson 1, Treasure Island, written by Robert Louis Stevenson. So Treasure Island is the first lesson in non-detail. This Treasure Island is written by Robert Louis Stevenson. Children, you must have heard of stories based on treasure hunting, or you must have seen the films based on these, the treasure hunts. These stories or these films seem to be very interesting. Here also in this lesson, there is a hunt for treasure. This is a story of treasure hunt. The story begins with Jim Hawkins. He stayed with his mother. Jim Hawkins is a boy of say 10 years old. He stayed with his mother and father in Admiral Benbow Inn. This Admiral Benbow Inn is a hotel which was owned by Jim and his parents. Actually, Jim's parents owned a hotel. Its name was Admiral Benbow. Jim was working with his mother and father in that hotel itself. This hotel or this inn was the only building in a lonely cove, that is a bay. Lonely Cove means it's a bay in the west of England. So where this Admiral Benbow Inn was situated, it was in a lonely area somewhere in the west of England. One day it so happens that a wizened old seaman with a severe scar across his face, there was a scar on his face, this person came to the inn. He took a room there. This man had a sea chest with him, a box with him, a sea chest with him. So it is said that the sole possession, the only possession which this man had, a seaman had, was an old sea chest. This man took care of this sea chest so much so that something was very important in that. Like how a miser hoards his fortune. A miser is a conjuice person. A person who doesn't spend money is a miser. A person who spends too much of money is a spendthrift. So the opposite of miser will be spendthrift. Such questions can be asked in the examination. So this man, the seaman who came to Admiral Benbow Inn and took a room there, his sole possession was a sea chest. And he took utmost care of that sea chest. So we come to know that there was something important in that. This person, this seaman's name was Billy. He called himself Old Sea Dog. So what was Billy's nickname? Old Sea Dog. So this Billy, a wizened old seaman, came on an ice-cold winter's day. So it was the season of winter. This man came when it was too cold. Where he came? He came to this Admiral Benbow Inn, which was situated in the west of England. Okay. He asked Jim to keep a weather eye means a keen eye, out for a seafaring person with one leg. So what did this Billy ask? Billy asked this Jim, keep watching towards the sea and see if you find any one-legged man. This Billy gave Jim 4 pence. 4 pence pieces he gave. So what is a pence? Actually pence is a plural of penny. Pence, P-E-N-C-E, is a plural of penny. Penny means money, money, a British bronze coin it is. Penny is a British bronze coin. So pence is the plural of. So he gave him 4 pence. Billy gave Jim 4 pence and said, you keep a watch towards the sea. If you find any one-legged man, then you tell me. So Jim had to see for the seafaring one-legged man, and if he arrived there, he had to inform Billy. That was the work of Jim. This man Billy, who had taken a room in the inn, he continued to stay in the Admiral Benbow. In that inn, he continued to stay. But this person Billy never cared to pay the rent. He never paid the rent. So this Jim's father would always grumble at him that he is not paying the rent, or he has not paid the rent, earlier rent also. Jim's father was aged. The mother of Jim feared that he may not stay alive for a long time. So Jim's father was not well. Jim's father was not well. He was ill. So Jim's mother always felt that he may not stay for a long time. So she felt that he would not outlive the winter. This winter, because it was too cold, he may not live through this whole winter. In the evenings, Billy would sit in the corner of the bar drinking rum. Without paying the rent, he would enjoy the rum here. He sang a song, and that was 15 men on the dead man's chest. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. This was the song which Billy used to sing in the Admiral Benbow, drinking, enjoying the rum. And what he used to do during daytime? This was in the evenings. He would sit in the Admiral Benbow Inn in one corner, and he used to drink the rum, and he used to sing this song. During daytime, he would be on the rocks, looking nervously out to sea. So he would continuously see at the sea. Why? He was waiting for somebody. He thought some person may come there, that one-legged man. So why would he go there? Probably to watch for the one-legged man or any other seafaring person, to see if any other person would come there, or to look out for that one-legged man. After several weeks, one more seafaring man appeared there. So this one was there in the Admiral Benbow Inn. He was not paying rent. He had taken one room. He used to drink rum. He used to sing. Jim's father would grumble. Here there was one more person. His description was like this: a swallow, evil-looking fellow with 2 fingers missing. So in this story, either fingers are missing or leg is missing. Here, this person, a swallow, evil-looking fellow with 2 fingers missing. Here, the meaning of swallow is the person whose skin, who has lost his natural complexion. The person who has lost his natural complexion, and when this happens, the skin appears to be yellow or brown in a tone, especially on the face part. So this is the meaning of swallow. Swallow means the skin that has lost its natural complexion, and when this happens, usually the skin appears to be yellow or brown in tone. Especially it appears on the face. So this was the man, another seafaring person who came there. This man came to the inn. He argued with Billy. Slowly fight started between the two, Billy and this new seafaring person. The man was wounded. Billy fell on the floor, gasping for breath. So both started with an argument. It ended up with a fight. One was wounded, one fell on the ground. He couldn't breathe. On the other side, Dr. Livesey had come to the inn to treat Jim's father. So this we see a new personality here, character, that is Dr. Livesey. He was a doctor and also he was a revenue officer, and he had come to Jim's inn to see his old aged father who was ill. So when he had come there, he attended to Billy, who couldn't breathe. The doctor said that Billy had a stroke. The doctor also asked him not to drink too much of rum. The doctor said, see, you are having a stroke, so don't drink rum. So this is the story till here. Coming to page number 116. Billy came. Billy called Jim. Billy, what he did? He called Jim to his side. His eyes burned with fever as he spoke. He told Jim that he must shift before the blubbers get to reach him. Here blubbers means a clumsy person. He felt that few more people will come now, because this one seafaring man has come, so few more may come. So he wanted to shift from there. So he calls Jim and he tells him that he wanted to shift from there. And he tells Jim that before they gave him the black spot, he must shift from there. So this black spot is a new word. What is black spot? It is a pirate summons. A summons issued on the pirates. A pirate summons is called a black spot. So this is a one mark question. What is a black spot? A black spot is a pirate summons. So Billy calls Jim and tells him that before these people came there, he had to shift from there. Before they issued a black spot on him, he had to leave from there. He had to shift from there. So Jim did not understand what Billy meant. Jim asked Billy to explain. So Billy told him that black spot was a pirate summons, and that he had been a crew member of Captain Flint's crew. So he told Jim that he feared of those men, as they would steal his sea chest. That sole possession was sea chest. So he was afraid that these people will come and steal his sea chest. So we come to know that there was something very important in the sea chest. Jim was worried of his father. His father was ill and Jim was worried of his father. So he didn't pay much attention towards the problems of Billy. He soon forgot the problems of Billy. He heard Billy's problem, but he soon forgot of the problems. Jim's father who was ill, he died that night. And Jim's father died that night, and he was laid to rest. All the cremations were done. And now there was another pirate. Another pirate came to the inn. He was blind. His name was Blind Pew. First one, no leg. Second one, 2 fingers missing. So this person comes, Blind Pew, who is blind. But still he came to Admiral Benbow Inn. Jim unwillingly led him to the bar. Jim did not want this man in the inn, but there was no other way. So unwillingly he led him to the bar. This man, Blind Pew, handed over a piece of black paper into Bill's hand. Billy's hand he gave. Soon Bill fell to the ground. He had a massive stroke. First already he had a stroke, now he had a massive stroke. His last words were that the pirates would be upon him that evening. So he soon knew that trouble was moving towards him. So he said that pirates would be upon him that evening. So Jim and his mother, they thought of something. They searched through Billy's precious sea chest. It was very precious. So Jim's mother took some gold coins. She took only that amount, how much Billy had to pay rent. How much rent was due, only that amount she took. She did not take more amount. Honest lady. Jim's mother, she took this amount from that sea chest. She took not a half penny more. The word given in the text is, Jim's mother took the amount equal to the rent amount and not half a penny more. How much amount did she take from the sea chest? Jim found some bundle of papers wrapped in oilcloth. He took it as payment for his service because Billy had given him 4 pence only once. After that he had served him for so many days. So he says, I will take this paper for my service. Jim and his mother could hear loud voices. They both fled out into the night and hid. Blind Pew and several other pirates had arrived and they had proceeded to ransack the inn. So what do you mean by ransack? Ransack means to search a place so thoroughly that they throw the things here and there. They cause harm to the property. If somebody comes to some pirate comes to your house or some pirate comes on ship, usually pirates are robbers on ship. How we call robbers when they come to rob the house? Thieves. If they come to steal something in the house, we say robbers. But if it is on the ship, then we say pirates. If it is on the plane, we say hijackers. So coming back, ransack means to search a place so thoroughly, causing harm to the place and destroy it. So these pirates who came there with this blind pew, they ransacked the inn. Did you all get the point? Coming to the next point, Blind Pew and the pirates were outraged. They were angry because what they were searching in Billy's sea chest had gone missing. So what they wanted from the sea chest was not there. They knew that Jim and his mother would not have gone very far. They must be somewhere nearby. So they rushed outside. But they were knocked down by several horsemen. So outside there were horsemen and they were knocked by them. Jim and his mother felt that their saviors were revenue officers. So Jim and his mother felt that the only people who could help them there were the revenue officers. And Dr. Livesay was one of the revenue officer. Dr. Livesay was one of the revenue officers. Jim and his mother, they went to the revenue officer's house. They told them that there was a pirate ship moored nearby which came there, which was anchored there. Before the revenue officers could reach the pirates had escaped. It was only Blind Pew who lay dead on the ground. He had been knocked by one of the horses. So the important question is, how did Blind Pew die? Blind Pew died as he was knocked down by one of the horses. Page number 117. Here we see that Jim's mother was cared for by friends. Jim was taken to Squire Trelawney's house and Dr. Livesay happened to be dining there. Squire Trelawney and Dr. Livesay both were local magistrates. So they both were told that what had happened that evening. So Jim and his mother both tell what had happened in their inn that evening. Jim told them the whole story and handed over them the papers. He said that the pirates were searching for these papers and he was very sure that they were searching this particular paper only. Squire Trelawney and Dr. Livesay, these two were the revenue officers, they were surprised to see the papers. Why? Because it was a treasure map. When they saw these papers, when they opened up and when they saw these papers, they came to know that it was a treasure map. It showed the directions where Captain Flint had buried the treasure. The booty, the word booty is used here in this lesson. What did that map show? It showed the directions of what? Of the treasure which was buried. By whom? By Captain Flint. The word used for treasure is booty. Coming to the next point, Squire Trelawney and Dr. Livesay hurriedly made plans for a voyage to the island. So they felt that they had to go there and search for the treasure. They wanted to see and search where the treasure was buried. They told Jim to be a cabin boy at the ship. So they wanted to take Jim along with them. Square traveled to Bristol, a city in the southwest of England. Bristol is a city in the southwest of England. So Squire Trelawney, the revenue officer, he went to Bristol for what? To bring a ship. He brought a ship named Hispaniola. The name of the ship is Hispaniola. He hired a sea captain, the ship's cook. The cook was one-legged old sailor. So it was this man whom Billy was looking for. His name was Long John Silver. This man helped the squire in gathering the crew members. Jim and the doctor joined the squire in Bristol. On the other hand, an apprentice was hired to help Jim's mother. Jim's mother needed help as even she was aged. So there was one person who came to help her to run the Admiral Benbow Inn. Jim moved with this to revenue officers. When Jim saw this one-legged sailor, Long John Silver, he wondered if it was the same man old Billy was looking for. He felt it was the same man whom old Billy was looking for. But this cook, Long John Silver, he was a pleasing personality. He was very friendly, pleased everyone in his own way. Jim again felt it must not be this man because he is so jolly and a pleasant person. So he soon forgot all about the doubts. This Long John Silver was nicknamed as Barbec. So this is a one-mark question. What was Long John Silver's nickname? Long John Silver's nickname was Barbec. He was taken as a cook by this revenue officers, in the crew. He was taken as a cook. We see that when Jim, the doctor, Squire Trelawney, went aboard the ship Hispaniola, Captain Smallet demanded an urgent word with them. So this new captain was Captain Smallet. He said that he was unhappy as he was not given the chance to choose the crew. He was also unhappy because the other crew members knew why they were sailing. They were sailing in search of treasure, but only he did not know that. It was kept hidden from him, so he was unhappy. This is a two-mark question. Why was Captain Smallet unhappy? For two reasons. One reason is that he was not given a chance to take the new crew. That is he was not given a chance to choose the new crew members. And the second reason is that he was not knowing. Though others were knowing, he was not knowing that they are sailing in search of treasure. That thing was kept hidden from him. Because of that, these two reasons, he was unhappy. He was unhappy because of these two reasons. Coming to page number 118, the ship Hispaniola set sail that evening and soon made progress. Even in the heavy seas, the ship moved smoothly and all the crew members performed their duty very well. Long John Silver, that is the cook, had a parrot as his pet. We all have pet animals, a dog, a cat. So this Long John Silver had a parrot. He named it as Captain Flint. Keeping this parrot on his shoulder, the parrot he would keep on his shoulder, and he would sing 8 pieces of 8 pieces of 8. So these songs are all connected to the treasure island. Now there is one more important thing which you all should know. Captain Flint is the name of a person and Captain Flint is the name of a parrot. The earlier ship's captain was Captain Flint. The same name Long John Silver had kept for his pet parrot. So, who are the two Captain Flints in the story? The two Captain Flints in the story are the parrot and the actual Captain Flint, the captain of the ship. Finally, Hispaniola reached its destination. So, Hispaniola reached its destination. Jim was hungry and so he was looking for an apple to eat. Finding the apple barrel empty, he climbed into it. The apple barrel was empty, he went into it. While he was in the barrel, he overheard something. When we hide and hear something, it is called overhearing. When we directly listen to something, it is called hearing. So, finally Hispaniola reached its destination. Jim was hungry, he went in search of an apple to eat. Finding the apple barrel empty, he climbed into it. When he was sitting in the barrel, he overheard something. To overhear means to hide and hear. To hide and hear to something is called overhearing. It was a conversation between Long John Silver and the coxswain of the ship. The coxswain of the ship and Long John Silver, they were speaking something. He overhears this conversation. And in this conversation, Long John Silver boasted of his piracy with Captain Flint, who had died of drinking. So, Long John Silver is telling about the earlier story that he was in Captain Flint's ship and that Captain Flint had died of drinking. He also spoke of his plan to kill the skipper, that is the captain of Hispaniola, the squire and the doctor, once the treasure was found. Once the treasure was found, he thought that he would kill the squire, the doctor, the other people who were there in that. Coming to page number 119, the ship Hispaniola safely reached the shores. So this was all happening when the ship was moving in the waters. Now the ship had reached its destination, it reached its shores. Jim soon told Squire Trelawney and Dr. Livesey all about what he had overheard. They all asked him to be quiet and pretend as if they know nothing of the plan. So they all pretend that they do not know anything of the plan of Long John Silver. So the treacherous plan, this is called the treacherous plan of Long John Silver. The plan was to kill the captain, the doctor and the squire. He wanted to kill all these. The question is, what was the treacherous plan of Long John Silver? It's a question of 2 marks. So totally there were 26 people aboard the ship. There were 26 people. When they reached the island, Jim remarked that the island was a brooding, menacing air. The island had a brooding, menacing air, troublesome. He felt that the climate there was not good. He felt the presence of sadness and danger, trouble, menace, trouble. There was some trouble. That air also was a trouble, like a trouble only. He is referring to the troubles to the air. The doctor tells him that the island was luked by malaria. Once upon a time there was malaria, and even at that time also there was still malaria existing in that area. So the ship was at anchor. The crew members were all very tired after sailing for so many hours, days. They all were tired, and Captain Smallet told them to take rest the whole day. So he says, you'll all take a rest the whole day. Next day we shall plan out. So Long John Silver led a party of sailors ashore, but 6 of them were left aboard to guard the ship and keep an eye on Captain. So 6 of them were left on the ship. The other sailors he left there were not a part of his treacherous plans. So this plan of Long John Silver was the 6 men whom he left on the ship to guard the ship, to look after the captain. They were not a part of his plan. So he only took the others who were involved in his plan, who knew about his plan. He only took those people with those pirates with him. Jim hid himself aboard the boat that rowed ashore. Soon the coast was clear. He ran for shelter nearby. Jim, a small boy, he's frightened. He enjoyed being all alone on his own there. He was delighted. So he felt being alone is better than being with these people. Later, after an hour, Jim was surprised to hear some voices. So here also trouble came now. He was surprised to hear voices. He hid and watched. He could see that Long John Silver tried to persuade a member to join his mutiny. The members who had come there as crew members, Long John Silver was forcing one of the person to join his mutiny. Mutiny means the sailors who are rebelling against the officers. This is mutiny. So he was forcing one person to join him. So when the sailor refused, the sailor was refusing, he was not ready. So Long John Silver drew a long knife and stabbed the sailor on his back. Very cruel people these are. So when Jim saw all this happening, he got frightened. He ran away from there for his life, because he knew that if Long John Silver would find him there, then he would also be killed. A small boy of 10 years, surely he'll be frightened of all these things. So he ran away from there for his life. Coming to page number 120. Jim ran until he got tired, and when he stopped to catch his breath, he found himself facing a wild-looking man. That man was dressed in rags. He was Benbow. So, when Jim had landed to that treasure island, he said it had a menacing air and always there was a trouble here on the island. So, when he was hiding there, he was enjoying his loneliness. He saw this Long John Silver was murdering somebody. He was killing somebody with a knife. So he runs from there and he comes. So he dashes another person. This person also is a wild looking person. Again trouble. His name was Benbow. This Benbow was a pirate who was in Captain Flint's ship. And he was there when treasure was buried. So earlier Captain Flint had come with his members and Benbow was one of the members. They had buried the treasure in that particular island. Benbow tells Jim that he had not spoken with a Christian for 3 years. So Benbow was very happy to see this boy so that he could speak to somebody. He said he had not spoken to a Christian for 3 years. Benbow tells all about himself to Jim. So Benbow tells about his story to Jim. He tells that he had come to the island with Captain Flint. The pirate had taken 6 men to bury the booty, that is the treasure, and had murdered all of them. So no one knows where the treasure was buried. The location of treasure remained a secret. Later he had come there taking another ship. Who? Benbow. Benbow had come there taking another ship and few sailors. For what? To search where that treasure was buried. When they could not find the location of the treasure, his shipmates left him there only and they all went away. That is how Ben was left marooned on the island. On the other side, we see that Doctor, the Squire, Captain Smallet had decided to go exploring. They all wanted to go in search of the treasure. They left the 6 pirates on board, took a jolly boat, rowed ashore. They soon found the stockade. What was the stockade? It was a long cabin with loopholes for muskets. Musket is a gun with a long barrel. So there was muskets in its walls, protected by a fence of wood which was 6 feet high. So they all decided that it was a very good place to stay for some time. They went back to the ship because they had to bring all their belongings. They went back to the ship Hispaniola to get their things. So Redruth is the squire's gamekeeper. He kept the pirates at gunpoint, while Captain and the others made journey ashore carrying useful things, that is the provisions, arms and ammunitions. So this Redruth took care of the safety, and these other people, they went to the ship Hispaniola and they brought all the belongings, the arms and the ammunitions. They all were bringing things to the stockade. For the last time, when they were coming for the last time, the captain and the loyal sailors were attacked by pirates. So again trouble. 1 pirate was dead and 2 were injured. Redruth was also shot. However, he died soon after. He was shot, but immediately he didn't die. Later on he died. Now the retreated pirates started bombardment from the ship's cannon, but the stockade was out of Hispaniola's sight. The balls fell wide and off their mark. The stockade was not at all affected by their bombarding. The stockade was not at all affected by their bombarding. What happened? The retreated pirates started bombardment from the ship's cannon. But they couldn't reach this place, this stockade. So the stockade was not affected by the bombardment. Coming to page number 121, Jim and Ben Gunn were surprised by the sound of a distant cannon fire. Jim now told Ben Gunn about Long John Silver and retreated pirates. Jim asks Ben Gunn to go and find the other loyal pirates who were their friends. Ben Gunn refused by shaking his head. Ben Gunn says that he knew Long John Silver because both were in Captain Flint's crew. In Captain Flint's ship, they both were as crew members. He further says he doesn't want to take the risk of his life and that he had agreed to help them only if he was promised of a safe passage home, or else he wouldn't have helped them. He slowly slipped from there and escaped into the bushes. This Ben Gunn, he did not want to risk his life. He did not want to risk his life. It was evening and the pirates stopped bombarding. Jim slowly tried to reach the stockade, and there he saw the Union Jack, that is the flag, flying above. He sees this flag flying above. He realized that the allies had occupied the stockade. Jim's friend was happy to see him and hear about Ben Gunn. The captain told everyone it was time to sleep. Now left over alive who were the people who were left alive there? Jim, Squire, Doctor, 2 more squiremen, 1 sailor who had remained loyal to them. So there were 6 men and 1 boy against 15 pirates who still survived. So there were 15 pirates. Robertson's ship, there were 15 pirates and these were only 6 men and 1 boy. The next morning, Long John Silver appeared at the stockade's fence carrying a flag of truce. He said that he would save their lives only if they gave him the treasure map. Captain Smallet refused to give the map. The pirates attacked the stockade. The defenders retreated into the long cabin. From there they started the firing of muskets. Suddenly, several attackers swarmed over the fence. 2 were shot dead, 1 retreated, 4 of them made it do the cabin wall, where they were able to shoot in through the building loopholes. Realizing the tables had been turned, the defenders rushed outside and found the pirates hand to hand. So this was the fight between the two groups. Coming to page number 122. A few minutes later, the pirates lay dead. Also, 2 of Squire's men died and captain was wounded. The remaining defenders buried the body. The doctor entered the woods with a plan. Jim also had an idea of this. He also armed himself with a pistol and slipped away. He reached the seashore where he found a small homemade boat. Here he found a small homemade boat. And about this, Ben Gunn had told him earlier about this home boat, that there is a home boat which is kept there, which they had used earlier. Ben Gunn had told about this to Jim. This little boat was difficult to handle. However, he succeeded in paddling it out to Hispaniola. Here he heard drunken voices. Jim cut the ship's mooring ropes and set it adrift. Tide was ebbing fast by then, and then current in the water also was very strong. He found himself sweeping away along the ship Hispaniola. He thought he was almost dead. The next morning, where did he find himself? He found himself near to the islands of north coast. Close was the ship Hispaniola, seemingly deserted. He hurriedly reached there. On the board of the ship, he found 2 of the pirates. One was dead and the other was wounded. They had probably fought with one another. Jim took the ship's wheel and steered for a creek in the north of the island, and it could safely be run ashore. The wounded soldier now suddenly sprang at Jim, and he chased Jim and he threw a knife at him. Jim was slightly wounded. However, Jim made use of his pistol and shot the attacker, the person who attacked him. He had a pistol with him. He took the pistol and he shot at the attacker and he killed him. Page number 123. Jim thought he had captured the ship and was safe. He made his way back to the stockade, but there he saw not his men, but Long John Silver and the pirates. Again trouble. Captain had given the treasure map to Long John Silver for some reason. Long John Silver tells Jim that his friends had deserted him and that he had to now join the pirates. Jim refused to join the pirates. Jim said that after seeing so much of treachery and blood, he no longer cared what happened to him. Jim was fed up of seeing all this blood, this killing of one another, these treacherous plans. So he said he didn't care for his life now, but he would never join the pirates. He wanted the pirates to know that It was he who uncovered the plot and it was he who took the ship. So he tells the pirates what big work he had done. The other pirates wanted to kill him. The other pirates who heard this got angry and they wanted to kill him. But Long John Silver was impressed by this young boy's brave speech. Though he was small, he spoke so bravely. So Long John Silver was impressed by this. He told the pirates that Jim would be more useful to them as a live hostage than as a dead cabin boy. So he tells the pirates that even if you kill him, we have to carry him on our ship. Let him be alive. Let him be a live hostage. He would be more useful for them. Long John Silver whispered to Jim and told him that he were given the promise of lenient treatment. Then he was ready to surrender to Captain Smallet. So what Long John Silver is telling Jim now? I will surrender myself to Captain Smallet, but you have to treat me very nicely. So this is what he is telling that boy Jim. The pirates were angry as they had lost so many men. They gave Long John Silver the black spot. Now these pirates, they issued a black spot on Long John Silver only. On its other side was the word deposed. Deposed means remove. These pirates removed Long John Silver from their group. And who doomed the mission to failure? They are asking him, it is because of you our mission failed. Who? These pirates are asking Long John Silver. Because of whom our mission failed? It is because of you. So they have issued the black spot, a summons on the Long John Silver. The one-legged man yelled at them. If they would have waited until treasure was found before mutinying, then by now they would have been rich. So Long John Silver tells that it is not only his mistake. They would have waited for some time, so then they would have got the treasure. A little later, Dr. Livesey came there under a flag of truce. He treated the wounded soldiers and also those who were suffering from malaria. So doctor, as his profession, he was treating the malaria patients there. He spoke a few words with Jim about taking the ship. Doctor appreciated Jim and said he had done well. So doctor is very happy with the work of Jim. He says, you have done very well. And the good thing was in finding Ben Gunn, because they could get much information from Ben Gunn. Before going, he wants Long John Silver to be careful while digging the treasure. So after breakfast, the pirates set off to find the treasure. Tying Jim to a rope, they took him along with them. Jim was surprised why doctor had given away both the stockade and treasure map to the pirates. He guessed it must be some plan. So Jim was a very clever boy. He came to know there must be some plan in it. Otherwise, Captain Smallet would not have given the treasure map. Coming to page number 124, the pirates searched for the treasure but could get nothing. So they went, they searched the treasure, there was nothing there. What was there? There was a skeleton. They suddenly heard voices of 15 men on a dead man's chest, yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. Terrified, the pirates stopped. Long John Silver was also frightened to hear this voice. They thought that there must be ghosts. But again gained courage, saying, ghosts' voice don't echo like this. Like however they were hearing, the ghost's voice never echoed. So they are not ghosts, they must be humans only. However, they said that even ghosts cannot keep them away from the booty. The pirates moved on in search of treasure. They found a giant tree that marked the spot where Captain Flint had buried the bulk of treasure. So Long John Silver's eyes were filled with greed. He would forget all promises he made after seeing the treasure. The pirates observed that there was a gaping hole under the tree and that somebody must have dug several months ago. The pirates further dug the ground with bare hands, but the treasure had gone. They turned to Long John Silver and Jim, accusing of treachery. Before they could do anything, there were gunshots. So it means that earlier somebody has come there, they have dug, they have taken the treasure. 2 pirates fell dead to the ground and the remaining 3 ran for their lives. So when these pirates now came and they dug and they saw, they got nothing. By the time they turned towards Long John Silver and Jim, there was gunshots. Gunshots started. So 2 pirates fell dead and 3 ran for their lives. It was Dr. Livesey, Squire Trelawney, Bengun, who had shot from the undergrowth. So these 3 had shot from the undergrowth. They now tell Long John Silver and Jim that they were able to reach the spot on time only because of Bengun. It was not the ghost's voice, but it was Bengun who had tried to frighten the pirates to delay them in reaching the spot so that they could reach the undergrowth early and make preparations for shooting. So Bengun is very clever. They all made their way to Bengun's cave. There Captain Smallet was recovering. Doctor now tells everything, how he came to know that Bengun had already found the treasure and had carried it to his cave. He also saw that ship had vanished. So only he had given treasure map to the pirates. That is why he had given the treasure map to the pirates and also allowed them to have the stockade because the stockade was of no use to them. They had already got the treasure. Doctor was sure they would die of malaria there. So doctor also was very clever. He gives the treasure map and he tells them to go and search the treasure. Page number 125. All the treasure was loaded into Hispaniola. There was a high tide and ship would easily sail. They thought of sailing to America to get more crew. First they thought that they will go to America, they will stop there, they will take more crew and then they will set sail again. The 3 pirates were left on the island. The 3 pirates who were remaining, they were left on the island. The ship began to sail. As it moved, one of the pirates tried to fire at Long John Silver's head. On reaching the mainland, some more crew were taken, so they all escaped from there and they left 3 of the pirates there on the island itself. They loaded all the treasure, they set sail. Now they come to America to collect a few more crew members. However, Long John Silver took 400 coins and again escaped. This cheating has come in his blood, in Long John Silver's blood, that cheating has come. So this stupid fellow takes 400 coins and escapes from the ship. Again treachery. The journey continued and the survivors all reached England. They shared the treasure and each one had ample of it. They got a lot of treasure, each one of them got a lot of treasure, their share. The others used the money wisely. The others, whoever got the share, they used the money wisely. But Bengun lost all his money in drinking. In his drinks, he lost all his money and was poor again within a month. That is what Jim tells. Jim is telling this story and he mentions about Bengun. Jim says that he didn't want to see the sea again. He didn't want to see the treasure island again. He didn't want any treasure. However, some of the treasure still remained undug there. Jim knew that there was a treasure there, but he did not want to go back to the treasure island. In his dreams, in his nightmares, he could still hear the cries of Captain Flint and the voices singing, "Pieces of 8, pieces of 8." He would dream of the breaking of the rocks. So Jim doesn't want any more treasure, nor does he want to travel by sea. Jim does not only want a treasure, he doesn't want to travel also by sea. So much frightful he is after seeing all those things. So thus ends the story of Treasure Island. Hope you all have understood the story. If you have understood my story, if you have understood the summary of this lesson, do like, share and subscribe. Your comments are always welcome. Coming to the examination point of view, questions like, 1 mark questions like, what was Admiral Benbow? What was the cherished possession, the precious possession, cherished possession? The third question, why did Billy give 4 pence to Jim? Question number 4, why was Billy looking out to sea every evening? These are likely questions that may appear in the examination. What is black spot? What important document did the bundle of papers contain? Who did Jim give it to? How did Blind Pew die? Who are the 2 capital Flints in the story? Who was nicknamed Babek? Why? Why was Captain Smallet unhappy? What was Long John Silver's treacherous plan? How did Jim come to know about the plan? He went in the barrel, overheard that story of, right? Why did Captain Smallet say that odds were stacked against their survival? Odds were stacked against their survival. Next question is, who is Bengun? Why was he left marooned on the island? Next question, why did Captain Smallet consider Stockade as an ideal place? Next question is, give 2 acts of Jim's bravery. Next question is like, why was a black spot served on Long John Silver? What did Silver do in the end? What did Silver do in the end? Long John Silver. Again he robbed 400 coins and he escaped. Same old story of his. So these are the questions that may likely appear in the examinations. Most likely questions that may appear in the examination. Hope you have liked this video, children. Thank you.